happy to be here. And that's what I'd like to hear more from you about is happiness, joy.
Do it.
Yeah.
In any way you can.
So many people have the wrong idea about it.
Want it. Let it be your quest.
Yeah.
Understand what it means.
Yeah.
Understand what it's evidence of.
Yeah.
Make it the highest of priorities. Yeah. Recognize when you're doing it, when you're not doing it. Yeah. And when you're not doing it, go general. When you are doing it, be more specific. If you're happy, the more specific you are, the happier you become. If you're unhappy, go more general, because if you be more specific, the more unhappy you become. So, pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah, and most people are doing it based on something.
Well, we've been talking about that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, that's conditional happiness, and we find no reason to freak out about that. Of course you're going to respond to lovely things, and the more lovely things you have in your life, the better you feel. We just don't want you to need something in every moment to be presented to you for your reason to react. We want you to be ready for it. In other words, we want you to practice it when it's slower. Find the happy vibe earlier in the day. A man said to us, I just love hiking. And he described in detail, enough so that everyone in the group felt enthusiasm for what he had been living. He talked about this hike up into this high mountaintop. And he talked about what he saw and how the air felt and smelled and what the sky looked like and what he felt like. And as he described it, it was a beautiful story. And he talked about how when he doesn't feel good, he tries to find things like that, but that he can't always, and that when he's at work, he longs to be there because it's different at work. And as he described the contrast between the mountaintop and work, the mountaintop and the things in his city, it was obvious that he had trained himself to need conditions to be good in order to be happy, which meant all that stuff that sounded so good about this is beautiful and therefore I feel good, and this is beautiful and there I feel good. He didn't even realize that he was setting himself up to say, but this is not beautiful and therefore I feel bad. When you've trained yourself to be a responder to conditions, now you've got to control the conditions. And you can to a certain degree. You can tell your employer that you're going to be gone for a couple of weeks and go on a voyage. You can control conditions to that extent. But it's not likely that you're going to keep calling and saying, I've signed on for 2 more weeks. I've signed on for 2 more weeks. This is really good. I'm not coming back. Tell the children to find somewhere else to live. Tell my employer to keep sending the money and I'll be back as soon as I can. In other words, those are conditions. And so then there is a dipping in the way you feel because you have made the correlation between controlling this circumstance or having this experience and then having an emotional response to it. And there is a trap in that most don't see coming until they're living it. And so then an exaggerated version of this is that almost everyone you know is in some experience with some group of others doing everything they can to control the conditions. If you turn on your television, it's asking you constantly to contribute to fix this and to contribute to fix this and to contribute to fix this. It's asking for your vote to make that go away, and your vote to make that go away, and your vote to make this better. Oh, we understand how everyone wants to be happy, but this is the peace that we know so well. Every single thing that you want, every condition you seek to change, whether it is the condition of more money or the condition of a better relationship or the condition of a different circumstance or the condition of every single thing that you want, is because you believe in the having of that improved condition, you will feel better. And we want you to leave this voyage knowing that you can feel better anyway. You can feel better because you want to. You can feel better because you choose to. And if you can get out ahead of that, then you've got it made. We're repeating ourselves. It's the message that we are speaking most often these days. It's the thing we said on the first night, and it's the thing we said all day yesterday, and we'll say it again today if you want, and again and again and again and again and again. We'll never stop saying to you, it is your birthright to feel good. It is natural that you do. The baby that you are rocking in your arms doesn't need the rocking, you do. In other words, it is natural for you to feel good. It is natural for you to feel good. It is natural for you to be joyful. And if you're not feeling joyful, it's because you've trained yourself by your observation of something away from the vibration that your source is holding. And the thing that we so want you to hear, this is the piece that will make it the most easy for you. If you can accept that you are vibrational and that your inner being is too, and if you can accept that you have these two vibrational perspectives going on at all times, the perspective of the source within you and the perspective of whatever you're looking at right here and now, and that your emotions are singularly the only thing that your emotions ever are, they are indications of the agreement or difference in the perspective between you right here, right now, this red hot minute, and the source within you right here, right now, this red hot minute, which brings you to an awareness that we think that you should find astonishing, and that is that your inner being is with you right here, right now, this red hot minute, thinking with you about that and about that and about that and about that and about that, knowing what your inner being has come to know, having synthesized all the goodness from all those lifetimes and knowing the best of the best of the best of all of it, that pure vibration, having worked the resistance out of the details of life over and over and over again till your inner being stands in pure love, in pure knowing, in pure worthiness, in pure mind, non-resistant, thinking with that pure mind about the very thing you're focused on right now. And your emotions being the meter or the indicator of how the variance is between the love that Source has and the less than that you might have, or the confidence that Source has and the less of that you might have, or the awareness that Source has or the less of that you might have, or the never ending. Always that awareness, you see. So when you start looking for love in all the right places instead of in all the wrong places, when you stop trying to or needing to control the circumstances or the opinions of others or the awareness of others or the practice of others or the alignment of others or the experience of others, when the condition is irrelevant and the only thing that is relevant is your relationship with that knowing, with that clarity, with that love, then when you tend to that first and then find alignment first and then find the joy and then now the conditions will brighten. They will brighten. Years ago, Esther was first getting to know us, and she walked down the path, the driveway, to open the gate for Jerry. He was bringing the car. So she said, I'll go open the gate. So she walked down, put her key in the padlock, unlocked the gate, swung the big farm gate open. And as she was standing there, the world became transformed. The sky was deep, 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 deep blue, like the blue in this wall around, not like a normal sky. Deep blue. The clouds were white in contrast, unlike anything that she'd ever seen. The feel of the air on her skin was unbelievably delicious, and she could smell fragrances that there was no evidence of anything in bloom. What is this? What is it that I'm smelling? And then she heard the song of birds that were not even present in her experience, too far away to hear, surely. And then she said, Abraham, it's you, isn't it? You're peeping through my eyes and smelling through my nose and feeling through my skin and hearing through my ears. It's you, isn't it? And we said, it is. You were in a vibration of complete alignment with all that we are, the soaring that is us. And in that alignment, no resistance in your vibration. We're having the same experience, you see. So the conditions are seen and known, deciphered from a vantage point of description and experience, almost beyond verbal interpretation. That's the beauty of emotions. Your emotions are your first receiving of manifestation to indicate how you're doing in your view of the world, you see. And so when you decide that you're going to allow yourself as much as you can to see through the eyes of Source, to experience life, your life, as Source is experiencing your life. You hear that? Source is experiencing your life. We're not off floating around somewhere without you. We are soaring with you whether you're soaring or not. It is so delicious to us when you catch up with the soaring. Delicious to us when you catch up with the soaring. But when you don't soar, we don't stop soaring. That's what unconditional love is. It's wanting the love and having tasted it so much. So you've all had experiences like we are describing here. You've all had moments where you have been distracted from whatever it is that is keeping you from that full experience. Jerry wanted to put on the spine of all books, self-help from your total self. Self-help from your total self. Total self. You like that word, total self. Your total self, the whole of who you are. The whole of who you are. And anything less than that just doesn't feel that good, have you noticed? Yeah. And yet, you put up with it. Why? Why do you put up with it? Because they're putting up with it, and they're putting up with it, and they're putting up with it. They're putting up with it, so I should put up with it because they've told me that the world does not revolve around me. Yes, it does. They've told me that it's not supposed to always be fun. Yes, it is. They misunderstand. Don't let somebody who's disconnected give you the rules for your life. Let the Source within you guide you to the beauty that should be constant.